Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where I believe this is probably our last episode, and we do need to be a little bit concerned about Aragon's forces out over here. So I want to have these guys heading to KOTOR, which they already are, conveniently enough. So I want to bring our navy up over to KOTOR specifically, because we are currently already walking down to Calabria here. So that seems absolutely fine. Now, I believe that this army may be in some amount of danger. We will see how that ends up playing out. It'll be interesting. I'm not sure if we're going to have this war done by the end of the game, to be clear. Revolutionary ideas would be removed from the Catalonia area? Yes. Sounds great. Okay, so these guys backed off of Revolutionary Portugal out over here. That's a potential problem for us because that means that they're coming here. So that's absolutely noted. We need these forces to be embarked right now, and we need to be sailing over to Tarragona instantly. Just right now. Revolutionary Naples is here. This is already under siege? Okay. We'll join that siege for now. This will be fine for the moment. And the question is Aragon going to fight us, or are they going to fight Portugal? We'll find out. For now, I want this army to just push its way down here. That will be absolutely wonderful. Okay, so this is occupied by France. But it's actually occupied by Revolutionary Naples. Is France in this? They are fighting Aragon, that's right. I remember reading that they were in this war with the Portuguese. So, I mean, that's absolutely wonderful. We're very glad about that. So if we look at Aragon here, we can see that they are currently in... Oh no, this is a separate French war. Interesting. I didn't realize that. Huh. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter to us any way that we slice this. We're interested in taking some territory out over here, and we'll see what we can get out of that. But what we're really interested in right now is getting these forts sieged down. Okay, so we can see that they have a navy here. That is noted. Oh, right. I forgot about this little area here. That's fine. Looks like Tunis has got that. So that is okay. I do want to transfer control of this over to Tunis. So that seems perfect. Sale of titles, huh? We're going to take the free stability. Thank you very much. Okay, so that seems fine. I do want to build more provincial improvements, so we'll get that going anyway. Illinois was building a spy network, to no one's real surprise. And I'd really like to free up some units over here. So we need to get up to here. There we go. And we need to embark these guys. Okay, so this is under control now. That's understood. Revolutionary Portugal is swarming in over here. And we just lost this general. That is slightly awkward, but we can roll one up here, so that is good. This isn't our territory, but it's not hostile territory either. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm concerned about Portugal coming in over here. I'm very concerned about it, in fact. So I'm going to split forces, and we're going to take this all nice and quickly. There we go. So we've got forces heading in all the way down this coast. That looks good. These guys are now going to come in over here, and I see that the French have started up a siege here. That's not ideal for us. This is very coattail feeling, but we'll see what we get out of this anyway. Okay, so we're going to recall our French diplomat. That seems wonderful. And all of this should be under our control. So that looks great. We have additional forces in here to be able to defend either of these directions, and the French are around as well, and I don't think Aragon can fight the French anyway. So that seems absolutely wonderful. We're going to head on back over here. Now, any of this that is considered core Tunisian territory, we're going to flip to Tunis. So this is considered core Tunisian. This is considered core Tunisian. Is this? Yes. Okay. So we're going to flip all of that over to Tunis. That is going to go to Tunis. Perfect. Now, other sieges out over here are going to occur eventually. We do need a new admiral. Let's roll one. There we go. And let's move on over to Tripoli. Cool. So at this point, military access from revolutionary Greece, probably not all that relevant to us. What's the Commonwealth doing in all this? Nothing at all right now. Okay. So that's noted. Gold mine has partially depleted. That's fine. I do want to get these last few manufactories built this episode. That would be a great thing to do. Okay, there was a coup in revolutionary Portugal, apparently. Ah, that's down over here. So revolutionary Portugal is spreading revolutionary ideas into our territory. That's very rude, but whatever. Okay, so back we go here. We're going to group these armies together. And we're going to see what all we get here. So I'd like to move up to here with this force for right now, and we'll start taking this over. We're waiting for these guys to get fully grouped together. There they are. And now we're going to embark them, and we're going to move on up over here. Excellent. Okay, so that's very awkward pathing. That's understood, but this just finished. Okay, so I want to force march up to over here. Now, the question is, what about this? Are we going to have to give that to the French? We might have to give that to the French. I'm going to leave behind a small unit here, and we're going to force march up over here and see if we can beat them there. Okay, they're not sieging this. Beautiful. This siege is now over. The French are still sieging Navarra up here, so we might not be able to get Navarra. I'm going to take these guys off of force march. They're fighting the French fleet here with basically no morale. That's interesting. I kind of want to go reinforce the French fleet. Okay, so we didn't need to reinforce the French fleet. That is understood, but I wanted to do it just in case. So these guys can group back together. And I'm going to move in here, and I doubt the French are going to give us this, but you never know. Sometimes the AI does weird things. But it's very likely that the French are just going to maintain this siege. So we can convert another one of these provinces, which we're delighted to do, and we can grab a diptech. That is actually the penultimate technology at this point. We're going to get the next one in 1824, so we're not quite going to max all of our tech, but that's fine. I don't honestly care about that. That is not that big of a deal. We are going to build all of our manufactories, and that is now complete. Perfect. So this is coal out here. Where is that? Why is this in the list? We have a furnace here already. I don't know why that's still in the list, but okay. That was our last manufactory being built there. So now we can work on counting houses, and those will be significantly cheaper. So that is, of course, magnificent. Now keep in mind, we're essentially coattailing this war. We were never expecting to fight the brunt of Aragon here. What we are expecting is to get a fair amount of territory out of this. So yeah, the French finished up their siege there, which was quite expected. So at this point, we basically have what we want. The question is, are they willing to give it to us? So here's what we want. We want Tunis to get all of this territory. They would give us that. But then, this is the tricky part. We want to take this ourselves. And yeah, that's more than 100% war score up there. So I'd like to take these coastal territories for sure. And they're already not willing to do this. The most that we could take would be like this. That would be 98 war score versus 91 war score. And that's going to be a crazy amount of aggressive expansion. So we're not going to want to do that, I don't think. Even this, France would join a coalition against us. We definitely don't want to fight France here. Let's give it a bit. I'm going to let this tick forward for just a little bit here. We're going to let their war enthusiasm continue to drop a bit as they get occupied out over here. Although, we're definitely interested in... Oh, we need this territory out over here. Right. We're definitely interested in that. But even this, France would be at minus 51 aggressive expansion. So we can take one or the other here. It's going to have to be like this. Even that, France would be at 57. They would be willing to join a coalition against us in theory. That's crazy. How much AE you get from taking this one territory. I mean, yeah, we're taking all of this, but that's reconquest. If you look here, that's only 20. Taking Castello here, that alone is 27.5 aggressive expansion. Europe is insane. That is all. Okay, well, I guess we'll take this and a bunch of gold. And maybe war reparations? They wouldn't give us war reps. But we could drop off our gold amount and take war reps instead. So something kind of like that. The problem, of course, is France is going to be potentially uppity, and we'll see what happens with that. We're very close to the end of the game. Let's send that demand, and I think that we should probably be in a reasonable spot as far as France goes. So we're going to need to core this. And we already have been working on our opinion with France. So they're at 54 aggressive expansion right now. Okay. So how much would it cost us to send them a gift? Probably a lot. Yeah, the Influence Nation would be incredibly expensive. A gift for 25 opinion is going to be an awful lot of money. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to do that. So that's not going to be a thing. That is not going to be a thing at all. We're just going to exit this war. I want these two to embark. Actually, I want these three to embark if we have enough. But I don't think we do. Both of these are embarked, it looks like. All but 1K. Well, that's awkward. Okay, well, let's come on down over here. Cool. So we aren't all that upset about France right now. That's for sure. They're not interested in an alliance right now, but they're actually kind of close. Okay, so we're going to bring these forces down. Now, I want to grab these guys. This is the one that's missing that one unit. Okay, I'm going to go back and grab it. And we're also going to work on a conversion here. There we go. Excellent. So France is now going to be able to grab all of this territory, and they're probably going to take it, to be honest. We do have too few rivals at this moment, and we should probably rival not France, probably not Delhi either. Even Illinois is apparently stronger than us, but they are already rivaled to us, so that sounds good. Of course, the US is our ally and would defend us against Illinois, so that is absolutely understood. We're number 4 in the Great Powers. We have dropped below Delhi, and that's not shocking, really. We've been focusing on grabbing opportunities in France. Or not in France. Near France. In Europe, right? And that's absolutely understood. So we're going to move these guys over. I want to make sure that we have mothballed our forts. There we go. These guys out here should all be drilling. So let's get those going. So every single one of these armies gets drilling. There we go. And then these guys down over here, they can drill as well. Perfect. Peasants are getting uppity, and we are going to spend legitimacy here. That looks good. Cool. So, you can see here, France is currently outraged, and the aggressive expansion, it's going to drop around the same time that the game ends. So, to that end, we should definitely consider expanding our land force limit. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to pull these guys in over here. We're going to get them drilling, and we're going to overbuild our army at this point. We have to look strong on paper. So I'm going to put in an army here, and I'm going to put in an army here. We're going to massively overcap our force limit. And to that end, we should probably get some conscription centers going. So let's get a bunch of those underway. We can make a state up over here, apparently, and we may as well do that. So that'll allow us to make full cores here. Perfect. Wonderful. These two, I'm going to get to drilling. There we go. And now we're just waiting on these infantry to come in. Now, the French probably aren't going to do anything until they're done with their Aragon War, so that does buy us a little bit of time here. Emphasis on the little. So we're going to need 18 of these. And then 4 and 20. But we are, of course, going to need to get some gold there for that. So that looks good. And then up over here, we're going to want to get a bunch of infantry recruited over here as well. We can set an agenda here, which we may as well do. What agenda do we want? Base tax? I mean, that's maybe okay. It's pretty much the only thing we can take. So we can boost this up. It'll cost us some admin power, but that's not a big deal. So that's now finished. Perfect. Now, back up over here, I want to make sure that we are bringing in not 21 of these. Arrest him. That was our diplomatic advisor, and we're going to need a new one. So that's understood. Only a +2. This guy is not an accepted culture. This guy is an accepted culture, so we're going to grab that. And then I'd like to promote him, but that will cost us a little bit of money. Now, I've overbuilt our forces here a little bit. We need to cancel 2 additional. Noted. There we go. So that should be fine. So now we need a little gold. That brings us up to 388. Okay. Waiting for another tick here. 690. So that should allow us to promote this guy, boosting him up to skill 3, which seems good. Now, I'm going to go back to France here, and we're going to continue improving relations with him. Because of our advisor, we can improve it by an additional 20%, which should allow us to bring this up to +120 instead of 94. So that will be a good thing for us as well. But we're continuing to expand our forces here. We're going to need 4 units of dragoons, and yeah, you can see here, we're exceeding our force limit significantly. And that is absolutely understood. There's not a lot to do for that. Okay, so apparently we reached our maximum in France already at 100. That's fascinating to me. It feels like we shouldn't have, because this guy allows us to improve relations by +20%. But maybe that means speed, not maximum amount. Either way, I'm still interested in keeping our relations with France fairly maxed right now. So this is fine for the moment. Okay. So I do want to continue to boost up our number of cannon here. That's going to bring us up to 588 on our force limit, and France is up to 676. So they're still going to be stronger than us, but that's noted. Keep in mind, we've got like 8 months left in this game, so that is absolutely a thing. There's also these guys down over here, and I guess we could send this force over to deal with them because that's where our navy is. We should also unmothball this fort to prevent that from having any effect. Beautiful. So over we go. And these guys did get a regen tick, so we're probably fine to fight them here. It'll happen on 13 May. I'm just going to let this tick forward until the battle will happen after a month tick. There we go. And now we're going to head right on in. Perfect. That's a lot of ducats. I'm going to gain admin power instead. That seems good. Okay, so we gained 5 prestige and an army professionalism. Gaining prestige is, of course, good. And we won this battle as we would expect. So this fort can be re-mothballed now. Beautiful. Okay, France's war with Aragon is over, but note that they're no longer outraged. They're neutral now because we've brought their opinion of us ever so slightly positive. So that is great. Absolutely wonderful. That means that they are probably, emphasis on probably not going to be doing anything. I do want to get more conscription centers built. So we're going to get a couple of them going, and I'm going to recruit another army here. I know that's kind of insane, but I'm going to do it. You can see our gold amount income is dropping, but we do have all of this being worked on at this moment. So for the moment, I'm not too concerned about it. And we're going to just allocate the resources. It's going to take a while to recruit this. We'll gain the prestige, thanks. It's going to take a while to recruit this in this area because it's all going to be recruited here in Malise. But that's absolutely fine. We're going to get that going. And we're just waiting on gold, I think. Yeah, there we go. So that brings us up to 630 for our total amount. So conscription centers are going to be a very useful thing. No doubt about that. Going to continue to recruit, or rather build some of those, and that'll be fine. I do also want to put in a general here and get these drilling. and then a general here. And yes, this is all going to be very expensive, and get them drilling. And a general here as well. So you can see that we're going to be at -5 military power. It doesn't actually matter all that much. We don't need any military tech, so that sounds good. Catalonian separatists, right up over here, spawned right on our force. And we were not able to stop them. So that's unfortunate. We can't move until the year tick here. And that should be the end of the game. But I'm going to order them to come back up over here. No, it's on 3 January. Beautiful. So that is the end of the game right there. We successfully invaded Europe. We have multiple toeholds in it, and we're working on expanding those. The next course of action that would be taken here, and you can see here, we got the second highest score just behind France. That's really not bad. Commonwealth score is really low, though. Interesting. I guess these are historical scores, not the actual, like, in-game score, which we'll take a look at here in a moment. So, overall, I'm fairly pleased with how that went. If Portugal had left us alone a little bit over here, Portugal and England, back in, like, the 1600s, we would have been in a much better position. But even as it is, I'm fairly happy with this. We've got a toehold on Africa, we've got a toehold in Eastern Europe, we've even got a toehold on the Iberia, and we're expanding in multiple directions. We have expansion opportunities down here. It all looks very, very good. Now, we lost this battle. We'd have that back in no time. We would just need to wait for them to walk up over here. So that's fine. I do want to take a look at the score. And where is the score in here? I mean, this is a great powers here. That's the rating. But this isn't the score. The score is, of course, here. We're gaining 7.59 score per month. We're 7th in total score. How do we see the leaderboard? I don't know. I don't usually care about that. Regardless, let's take a look at the timeline. This is one of my favorite features at the end of an EU4 campaign. I really wish this timeline feature existed in the other Paradox games. It does in, I think, Hearts of Iron, but it does not exist in Stellaris or CK3. As to my knowledge, it doesn't exist in Victoria 3 either. I really wish it did exist. But yeah, you can see here, we started right there. And let's just go right on through this. Beautiful. So we're expanding nicely, but we, of course, have those breakups as we're working on reforming our faith. But then we managed to form Maya. And now you can see Castile is going to start causing problems. We took some Castilian provinces there. And now we're starting to really fight with Castile a lot. That's when we took over New Granada, and that was very spicy. In this period, of course, we're being heavily accosted by Portugal and England, and things are rough right now. We're just going from war to war. We're getting small gains here and there. Almost every single one of these wars we're getting a small gain out of, or a white piece. But even so, it's causing us to slow down substantially. But as we go into the 1700s, things change dramatically. We take a big chunk of English Mexico up here. The major powers of Portugal and England are much more occupied at this point with other problems, and we're able to use that to take over large amounts of their colonial domain, and that allows us to start generating some power out over here, which we are about to get. Any moment now, we're going to start breaking into Europe. There we go. We now have territory in Europe and Africa, and we're just going to continue to advance all of that. Beautiful. So we were going to continue to slowly expand on this for a very long time, right? But the main problem is that Europe is dominated by two superpowers, Revolutionary Commonwealth and France. And we weren't really in a position to fight either of them. So the idea would have been, take what we can get opportunistically in Europe, and then expand into Rio de Prata and Portuguese Brazil, and then probably start pushing up this direction eventually if we had unlimited time, which of course we didn't. So I'm pretty pleased with how that played out, ultimately. We definitely pushed back the Europeans and managed to make our way into Europe proper, and we even have a couple of colonies in there, and that is magnificent. With that, it is time to end this episode and also this series. I'm not sure yet what will follow it up, but we'll find out. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hero Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.